Good morning. I'm Scott Stawski, and I'm an HP executive. My role is I'm the global area sales leader for the P&G subregion, and I just wanted to tell you how ecstatic I am to be here this morning. I always love when I get to talk to fellow HPers about the HP strategy. And I get ecstatic because I truly love HP. I wear my HP pin with pride, and I love HP because I cannot imagine a world without HP. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Did you know that 100% of the cell phone numbers in the Americas are operable because of Hewlett-Packard and Hewlett-Packard technology? We handle all the recording and all the porting of cell phone numbers in the Americas. Did you know that more than 80% of all ATM transactions are done because of HP and HP technology? Everything from HP software to what's called nonstop technology that actually powers the ATM machine. The ATM networks would shut down if it wasn't for HP. Did you know that more than 50% of all the states within the United States HP handles exclusively their Medicaid health claims and reimbursement systems? So that is a major part of our healthcare system. Did you know that almost 1 out of every 2 airline reservations are processed by HP hardware, HP software, and HP enterprise services, including American Airlines, United, et cetera, et cetera. Literally, the America's airlines would shut down if it wasn't for HP. Did you know that when you talk about national security, that we run the largest IT infrastructure network, military network in the world for the United States Department of the Navy? Did you know that we're chosen to innovate and to put the next generation of data infrastructure for the Department of the Army? I cannot imagine a world without HP. We are so ingrained. And so it makes me happy when we talk about HP strategy to fellow HPers. So why are we here today? I love this cartoon. The cartoon, someone's, asking at kind of like a lemonade stand. It's like, hey, did you hear about Blockbuster going into bankruptcy? That kind of surprised me. And the other person is like, well, it might have had something to do with Netflix and Hulu and smartphones and all the different ways that we get, live action or streaming video that really made going to a Blockbuster store pretty antiquated. When I saw this cartoon, I thought it was perfect for what's occurring in our world right now. And what's occurring in our world right now is a massive amount of business disruption. All you have to do is look at the number of companies and high-profile companies that are no longer in business anymore. Virgin Records, Circuit City, Radio Shack here in Dallas, RCA, General Foods, thousands of travel agents around the world, hundreds of newspapers in the United States that are all out of business because of the business disruption that is occurring today. And this business disruption is an integral part of what HP does to help companies transform to the new style of IT. So not only can they weather the storm of this business disruption, but they can get ahead of it. In fact, that they can use the same technology that is causing the business disruption to get ahead of it and to actually become the disruptors themselves. So what is an inflection point? Okay, you probably have heard the term inflection point before. An inflection point in the business world, it's more than a trend. Generally, it's a set of trends that all come together that cause massive business disruption. Basically, it changes the game. The inflection point that's occurring today, okay, the enabler of the inflection point is the convergence of various technologies, and specifically the technologies around cloud, mobility, apps or software as a service, the more technical word, and big data. It is this wheel that is spinning around okay, that is allowing and causing this business disruption. And this disruption is being seen by what generally accepted are two terms, disintermediation and reintermediation, okay, only a term a consultant would love. Disintermediation, what is disintermediation? Disintermediation is, generally speaking, you have 5 rungs in the value chain. You have supplier, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and buyer. So you start out with raw materials, you go through each one of those rungs of the chain, and you end up buying the product or service, through a retailer. Disintermediation is the total elimination of various rungs in that value chain. And that causes massive disruption because those companies that handle those rungs in the value chain go out of business. So let me give you an example. I travel a lot and I stay at Marriott's, but do you know what the #1 lodging company, hospitality company in the world now is? Anybody? You can yell this one out. Airbnb. Airbnb is now the largest hospitality company in the world. What makes them unique is they don't own a single bit of real estate. They have cut out, in the value chain, supplier. They don't have to own the raw materials anymore. They don't have to own the real estate, and now they are the largest provider of hospitality. The largest livery company, taxi cab company in the world, Uber, wasn't even in existence 5 years ago. And they are the largest livery company in the world, and they don't own a single automobile. So those are examples of disintermediation. And then you go over to reintermediation, and reintermediation is companies that have abolished certain rungs in that supply chain, but they have reestablished 1 or 2 of them in a massive marketplace. So what they've done is they've completely eliminated the competitors in those value chains. So let's look at an example that we all know, and that's Amazon. Amazon's unique because, first off, they're a disintermediary, and they did that with books. Basically, they said, you don't need to go through a book publisher anymore and get a book contract to get your books into stores, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to allow you to self-publish on Amazon, and we're going to give you a method of reading the book, i.e. the Kindle. And if you want a hard copy of the book, we have print-on-demand services. And so now Amazon has 35% market share of the publishing marketplace, the book publishing marketplace, and a countless number of bookstores, borders, have been eliminated, and a countless number of publishers have been eliminated. So they're a disintermediary, but meanwhile they're a marketplace. They've said, hey, why go to the grocery store or why go to the retailer to buy these categories of goods? You can just buy them from us and we'll deliver them the next day. Some markets will deliver them the same day, and we're even going to experiment delivering them in an hour or 2 by a drone. And they have eliminated countless number of retailers and wholesalers and distributors. So this wheel of the convergence of technology is spinning, and it is pushing out all of these intermediaries and disintermediaries and eliminating hundreds, if not thousands, of individual companies. And there's not a sector it's not occurring. So we have a thesis. And the thesis is codified in the book that we've given all of you, which I wrote. It was written with the support of a lot of fellow Hewlett-Packers like yourself. The foreword was written by Mike Nefkins, our executive VP, to try to codify in one place what is happening in the marketplace and what companies can do so they're not going to be on the losing end of the convergence of technology, the losing end of reintermediation and disintermediation, but they can actually harness the same technology that is causing the business disruption to succeed in the marketplace. And they can do it by what we call a fanatical focus on core competency, a fanatical focus on core competency that creates competitive advantage, and an operating model that's driven by what we call a continual transformation environment operating model. So we sell technology, We are a technology service enabler. But that is the means to an end. The end is a business outcome. And the business outcome that we are allowing is to take a company that has all of these process and services and tasks, okay, to contract to have a fanatical focus on what their true core competency is and allow an ecosystem of providers to provide the services and the enablers that are not central to their core competency. So a little homework for you. I highly encourage you to read Competing for the Future. Hamel and Prahlad have influenced countless amounts of CEOs, CIOs. Their concepts on core competency was written more than 25 years ago in a Harvard Business Review article. And it basically says that a core competency is a harmonized combination of multiple resources that distinguish a firm in the marketplace. So what does that really mean? What it means to have a core competency is that you're really good at one thing, but it may not be the thing that you think a company is good at, okay? And if you're really good at one thing, you should have service line extensions, product line extensions, new products and services that are based off of that core competency. So when you look at Apple, okay, a lot of people says Apple's core competency is high tech. It's manufacturing cell phones, manufacturing laptops, manufacturing iPads. That is not, when you talk to Apple executives, what their core competency. They define their core competency is they have a creative engineering process that links technology to individuals' lifestyle. Everything they do, okay, is about taking technology and say, how can I make this technology central to the lifestyle of someone? Not central to a process that someone has or a task that someone needs, okay? Central to their lifestyle. So when you first got your iPhone, when the iPhone was first released, there's been many articles written on it. It wasn't, sure, it had a major impact on cell phones, but it literally changed the lifestyle of consumers. The iPad literally changed the lifestyle of computers. And they're now saying with Apple driverless cars, yes, they're working on it, even though they won't admit it, it's going to change the lifestyle of computers. Honda's core competency is engine research and development and manufacturing. So that allows them to have product lines such as automobiles, such as marine engines, such as landscaping tools that have engines. Anything that has an engine, Honda says, hey, that is something that is our core competency. Our engines last forever, okay? But you're not going to see Honda, okay, go into the furniture business anytime soon. And you're not going to see Apple go into the hospitality business and start selling food and apple pie, okay, anytime soon. So what has happened is that companies have gotten away from their core competency because they spend so much time on necessary processes like human resources, accounts receivable, accounts payable, IT operations, how to keep the email system up and running, how to keep the SAP system up and running. Everything that you need as a company to be successful, but it's not their core competency. Okay? And so every hour that they spend doing anything that's not directly related to their core competency, that's not directly related to that core competency, creating competitive advantage, okay, is fundamentally bad for that company. So then the next key aspect, again, homework, is I'd encourage you to read Michael Porter, Competitive Advantage. Michael Porter at Harvard Business School. This book is about 15 years old, but again, it provides the basis of a lot of thinking. Basically says is when you have a fanatical focus on core competency, and if you have the agility and flexibility that you need as a company, that you can constantly be looking at drivers that will give you competitive advantage in the marketplace. And he talks about the drivers being cost leadership drivers, differentiation strategies, innovation strategies, operational effectiveness. And that as long as you focus on your core competency and are constantly aware of which of those drivers is giving you competitive advantage, and if they're not, okay, change it to where you are getting competitive advantage, you're going to be a market leader. So what HP does with the new style of technology is say we are in a great situation where we can take this convergence of technology, which is cloud, mobility, apps, and data, and that same convergence of technology that's causing the business disruption, that we can use it to create a continual transformation environment within a company. A continual transformation environment is take that company, find out the business processes and business units that truly are central to that core competency, okay? And that's where we're going to have a fanatical focus. That's where we're going to invest the money. That's where the management bandwidth is going to be. And for the areas outside of that core competency, we're going to use this convergence of technology to create an ecosystem of partners around this core company that are all linked to us by this convergence of technology to handle the necessary business processes for us, but allow us to concentrate on our core competency. So let someone else handle, okay, hosting our applications in the cloud. Let someone else handle our accounts payable, our accounts receivable. Let someone else handle our payroll. Let someone else, in certain situations, handle our manufacturing facilities, et cetera, and let us contract and become this company that has a fanatical focus on this core competency. And that is the continual transformation environment, and that's hopefully in Mike's foreword and in the book Inflection Point we describe in detail. Because the key is it's not about the technology. It's about when you move to the continual transformation environment, what are the endless possibilities now that you have opened up, okay, being an agile, flexible company, being agile enough that you can react in minutes instead of months, being flexible enough that you can act in an innovative way in what you need to do instead of constantly saying we'd like to do that but we can't because IT says that they can't do it in time, or human resources says that we can't do it in time because we have too many people on the payroll over here. So what are the endless possibilities that open up? Channel alignment. We have all of these companies that through disintermediation that are eliminating wholesalers and distributors and retailers and going directly to the consumer. Okay, I'm a man, I shave, okay, and I joined Shave Club for Men. Okay, Shave Club for Men every 4 weeks. They send me some great razors, some great razor blades, and some shaving cream, and I'm never out. Okay, I no longer buy my Gillette razors at CVS. Okay, Procter & Gamble is losing market share from Gillette. Okay, to Shave Club of Men. Shave Club of Men has grown in 2 years, is already over $1 billion valuation, and is estimated taking 1% market share a quarter away from the traditional razor blade sellers through retail. And that's just one example. If I have a continual transformation environment and I'm not beholden to, and I can change my ecosystem at will, I can open up my own Shave Club for Men, and I can ignore the wholesaler, distributor, and retail channel, and now I can go direct to consumer. Or I can create my own marketplace instead of waiting for Amazon or Jet, okay, which is a new entry into the marketplace, or Alibaba to come in and take away my market share because of the marketplace. Mergers, acquisitions, and divestitures. Okay, if I'm a global company or if I'm just a U.S. company, I'm going to have brands that are being disruptive. Okay, because of the trends that we talked about before, that frankly, there's nothing I can do. They're just decreasing market share. I need to get rid of them. If I have a continual transformation environment, which means within my company, I'm fanatically focused on my core competency. You know, everyone else is handling manufacturing, accounts payable, IT operations. All of it is in a consumption-based, okay, a pay-as-you-go process. If I want to get rid of a brand and sell it off, it's a pretty quick process. I sell it off because I don't have to worry about selling off the assets associated with that brand, because it's assets, okay, associated with that brand, the IT assets, the accounts payable, accounts receivable assets, are all handled by an ecosystem of providers. They can still handle it for whatever company acquires that brand. Same way, if I want to bring in a new company that is a market disruptor, I can now bring it in quickly through an acquisition or a merger. Okay, without having to spend 12, 18, 24 months where you typically have to spend all that on the integration of the company's processes. Same way, new geographies. China's growing, let's enter China. Before, hey, I can't enter China, okay? I don't have a sales force there. I don't have manufacturing facilities there. I don't have retailer agreements there, et cetera, et cetera. Continual transformation environment, I open up a marketplace. Okay, I contract with my ecosystem of providers for distribution and direct homes delivery, and all of a sudden, my product is available in China within 30 days. Okay, it might have taken me 3 years to enter China before. The Ukraine, unfortunately, okay, I'm Polish, so I spend time looking at that part of the country. The Ukraine has problems right now. Okay, maybe I should pull back from the Ukraine. I can move in and out of geographies, okay, at the turn of a dime. New products, okay? If I'm fanatically focused on my core competency, I can speed up my time to market for new products to be in a matter of months and not years under a continual transformation. So this is what we can accomplish. Now, there are enablers, and this is where you come in. We need to understand what our companies need to accomplish, and they need to accomplish this agility and flexibility. And we believe the way that they will accomplish this is through the continual transformation environment operating model. And there are 4 things that need to be addressed, okay, to make a continual transformation operating model work. The first one is the cloud. Okay, there are a lot of different types of cloud, and we spend a lot of time talking about private cloud, virtual private cloud, managed cloud, public cloud. Ultimately, everything needs to work in what we call a converged cloud operating model, and there are certain people need to know this. But at the end of the day, our clients need to mandate moving their infrastructure into the cloud. And the day has arrived where a company should never, ever own a data center or a server. Period. They need to get rid of them. They need to move their entire application stack into this converged cloud operating model, okay? And that gives them the agility and flexibility to act as will, because they don't have to worry about bringing up data centers, shutting down data centers. They want to go into a new market, new channel, new geography, new product. It's real easy to do if everything's in your cloud. Mobility. All of their aspects of their operations need to be mobile enabled. And when we say mobile enabled, okay, it's not just your cell phone. Everything is mobile enabled. My car talks to my air conditioning system at my house, okay, to let it know when I'm close by, so it will take the temperature from 60 or from 78 degrees down to 70 degrees because it knows I'm close by. Everything is connected. Digestibles, okay? You now can digest a pill, which is really a little robot that will help in cancer research and actual cancer cures. Wearables, to wear a patch to constantly monitor your heart rate, your diabetes level. Everything is being connected these days in what's referred to as the Internet of Everything. So we need to make sure that our clients are mobilely connected, but again, through this ecosystem of partners. The Enterprise App Store. Okay, I can't even remember the last time I went to a computer software store and bought software for my personal life, okay? Me and my wife's and my family's personal life, okay? And that's what we expect. But we get into the company, into the enterprise, and it's like going back 20 years. We want to put a new application on our computer, and it's like an act of supreme being is needed in order to put that application onto our computer. Companies need to move to an enterprise app store, a single portal, just like iTunes App Store or Google Play, where all employees have access to pre-approved applications that they can use as an app, software as a service, instantly, and not worry about IT telling us what apps we can use. We can self-select our own apps that is best used for our individual job. And then lastly, data as a core asset. Companies need to be enabled with all of this data that it's coming out. Schmidt, Eric Schmidt, the chairman, CEO, and one of the founders of Google, had this great quote that said, from the beginning of time to 2003, the world stored 3 exabytes, which is a huge amount of data. Now, 3 exabytes are stored every 2 days. Okay, because of all of this data that is coming in, from the cloud and from the apps. And companies need to harness that data, and they can't do it on their infrastructure. They have to put it into the cloud, and they have to let their ecosystem of providers like HP handle this for them. So they can use the data to be fanatically focused on their core competency, but not expend the bandwidth, the management bandwidth, about how to store the data, what applications to use the data. Use the data to create a business outcome without the management bandwidth on storing the data. If we do that, what we create, help our clients create, is the IT department of the future. And that is the new style of IT. The IT department of the future, they don't own anything. They run very little. They are definitely smaller. What they do is they set the standards and the governance for the ecosystem of providers. And say, if you want to be one of my trusted ecosystem of providers, here's the security standards, the governance standards, the architectural standards that you need to abide by, but you're going to do everything in the cloud. You're going to do everything software as a service. Everything you do for me is going to be consumption-based, pay as you go. And the IT department of the future is that broker. In closing, where do we go from here? You're dealing with your clients every day. This is not, an unfamiliar message for them, but it's also not an easy message for them to take, especially if you're talking to the CIO. Because you're telling the CIO that their role in the company is going to fundamentally change. And in many of our opinions, you're going to come across 3 different types of CIOs. And I think this applies to the managers you're going to be talking to at your clients, the directors you're going to be talking to. You're going to have the traditional CIO. Yeah, my stuff is running fine. Okay. No one can run an IT department better than me. Okay. I'm not going to let my apps go into the cloud because I don't want to be one of those companies that's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. That's the traditionalist CIO. Okay, they're going to be the Radio Shack. They're going to be the next Blockbuster. Okay, that sure, and everything isn't perfect right now, but if they don't start acting now, they're going to be the antiquated company that's supporting, selling buggy whips. Okay, in an age of spaceships. You're going to have the incrementalist CIO. The incrementalist CIO, in my opinion, is one of the more dangerous CIO. It's the one that gives the illusion that they're moving to a continual transformation environment. They're moving to the new style of CT, but they're moving they're taking aspects that are so unimportant, and they're moving so slowly that the rest of the leadership thinks they're moving, but they're really not. These are the ones that say, hey, next year, my big endeavor is going to be moving from client-server Microsoft Exchange, where you have to own the server, you have to own the software, you pay maintenance fees every year, and all the email comes through your server and your data center. I'm going to move to Office 365, where now the email runs on, either HP's or Microsoft's servers, along with a lot of other people's emails, and there is no annual maintenance fee. It's a pay-as-you-go. It's a consumption based, either a per month or per year. And that's the right thing to do, That needs to be done, but that's a small project. It's a project that deserves some, attention, That's not a transformative project. Transformative project is, I have 2,000 applications in 18 data centers around the world. In the next 18 months, I'm going to close 12 data centers, and I'm going to move 1,000 applications to the cloud. That's transformation, because we don't have time to wait, because the companies that these disintermediaries are eliminating are speeding up. Many more companies, if they don't go to the continual transformation environment, are going to lose. And then, of course, you have, in closing, my favorite CIO, which is the transformative CIO, that recognizes that it's about fanatical focus on core competency. It's about creating an ecosystem of providers to handle everything else. okay? And it's about speed and flexibility, agility and flexibility. So HP, how quickly can you get me there? Help me set up a roadmap to get there. And if you partner with me, okay, and put some skin in the game, by the way, I'll partner with you. That's the CIO, that's the directors, that's the managers that we're looking for. So good luck on your journey. You're going to be learning a lot about the individual service lines in cloud, in mobility, in apps, and we look forward to working with you, and we're happy that you're here, and good luck on your journey. Thank you.